Labour claims Boris Johnson plucked Rishi Sunak from obscurity. Labour has launched an audacious bid for the support of retirees who are angry that Tory MPs removed Boris Johnson as Prime. Britain's two biggest parties are locked in battle for the loyalty of the crucial pensioner vote, and the latest attack shows the ferocity of personal attacks the country can expect in the coming weeks. Shadow Paymaster General Jonathan Ashworth, who worked for Gordon Brown when he was Chancellor and Prime Minister, said pensioners should not trust Rishi Sunak with their financial futures because he stabbed Mr Johnson in the... He doubled down on Labour's claim that Tory ambitions to scrap national insurance contributions for workers would lead to a £46 billion black hole that would result in higher borrowing, pensioners paying more tax or cuts to the NHS. In a highly personal attack, he claimed Mr Sunak is coming for pensioners and they can, turning his guns on the PM, saying, "I don't think pensioners can trust Rishi Sunak because, let me put it like this, Boris Johnson trusted Rishi Sunak. He plucked him from obscurity, made him the Chancellor, made his career, and then Rishi Sunak stabbed him in the back." Mr Sunak resigned in July 2022. Shortly after Mr Johnson had apologised for the bad mistake of appointing Chris Pincher Deputy Chief Whip, despite being aware of allegations about it. In his resignation letter, Mr Sunak told the then PM that the public rightly expect government to be conducted properly, competently and seriously. Mr Ashworth said Mr Sunak had left his own Conservative MPs aghast and furious because he's called this election with no notice. He said, "He's stabbed his own Tory MPs in the back. I think Rishi Sunak will stab pensioners in the back, just like he stabbed Johnson." Pensioners, a traditional stronghold of Tory support, could hold the margin of victory if the polls narrow in the run-up to July 4. The most recent We Think polling shows 31% of those aged 65 to 74 intend to vote Conservative, with just 24% supporting Labour. For those aged 75 plus, more than half, 51%, plan to vote for Mr Sunak's party, with just 26% backing cIaimed. Studies show that pensioners are much more likely to take part in elections than the youngest. A senior Conservative source dismissed Mr Ashworth's claims that pensioners would be worse off under a Conservative government, saying, "Who brought in the triple lock and have retained it all these years despite heavy criticism for privileging pensioners." The Tories claim that former Labour Chancellor Gordon Brown's pensions raid, in which he ended tax relief on pension firms' dividends, has cost workers £118 billion since 1997 and hastened the end of final salaries. But Mr Ashworth said Labour would put economic stability first. He said, "Sunday Express readers are now paying more on their mortgage, they are paying more in the shops, they are paying more on their energy bills and are really struggling. The question is, do people want to continue with the economic chaos and decline, or do they want to turn the